Oh, so good morning, and a beautiful morning it is too. Now we're doing an inspection this morning. We're at a community centre that's requiring an inspection to be done, and this is unusual because I've been here before. Did a just have a quick look around beforehand. Got three-phase power in this building, which is a bit unusual. I don't think they need it still, but that's part of this visual inspection today that we're going to do. It's a big building, so the visual inspection is going to take a while. And tomorrow I'm going to do all the testing, and I'm hoping coming out at the end of the testing that I'll be able to say to this building, you don't need three-phase power, and we'll try and work out if we can get it onto single phase, because it's a charity-run establishment, so if we can save them some money, we will. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to look around the outside of the building, just to get an idea if there's any electrics outside, and then I've drawn a plan already how the layout of the building is, and then we're going to just go around, check everything, make sure there's nothing obvious that's problems. I do know there's some blown bulbs, so I'll make some note on those. And then I've already taken pictures of the main cabinet room, but I'm going to see if I can get some more detailed ones if they're in there. Like I say, this is a three-phase building, so this will be different. So let's have a look around this building and see what we can see. Right, so here's the building, so we're going to have a look. So we do have some security cameras and things. I know there's some fire circuits, which I'm not going to be doing. So let's just have a quick look. So we do have a light. So there was obviously electrics coming out to this. Very old, it's a very old building this. That's why they're having the inspection done. So we've got, looks like a alarm cable. I don't think we've got anything going on there. So there's cables for the lights, cables for the security cameras. So we'll look to see where the power's coming from the lights. So that's that there. Looks like there were some lights at some point, down lights. But they've been taken off. Down there we've got an emergency light there. I'm not seeing any cables. We've obviously got an overhead telephone cable coming in there. And we've got another emergency light there, and obviously the alarm. So let's have a look around the other side. Right, let's have a look. So we've got an emergency light there. It's still obviously all the cables must be indoors. We've got we do have a cable. Something's coming from that. That's fine. Not worried about that. Wow, sounds right in the eyes. So there are downlights here, or there were. There were some downlights. Not anymore. Another light there. Another alarm box there. Another door inwards, which I think I've got the plan for. Another light there. More security cameras, mind the hole. I've got what looks like a PIR with an indoor cable to it, which is not really appropriate. Got another light that doesn't appear to be working, but we can check on that. Then we come to the porch area. Let's start with the main area. So because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights. We've got one totally failed light, one with a 1. These aren't LEDs, none of these are. So we have to bear that in mind. We have a projector. That's powered by that. Now, I did this all before. A lot of the cabling is in conduit, it's not in the wall. There is some asbestos in the building, so that's what we need to be aware of. So you can see there that light's in conduit there, going along there, and along to those lights along there. We'll try and get a diagram of where all this power's going. And then the conduit goes straight out there, and it goes out there on that one. So the conduit fitting all the lights, it's all in good condition. I'll have a look at that in a minute. Another one where the conduit's going straight out the wall. That's doing the same. But what we see here is the conduit ends here, so this is the last light on that circuit. And it's junction box there. and then feeding into that light circuit there. So we'll have a look and see where that goes in a minute. Right, we've got the kitchen over here, which we'll have a look at in a second. Then we've got the storeroom there. The mains cabinet is actually in there, which as you can see we can't actually get to at the moment. So we've got a extractor fan on the wall. This has been powered by just a really weird computer cable. Again, it's not perfect, but it's not a problem. Obviously, the outdoor lights must be getting their power from indoors somewhere. So we'll have a look at all the systems. We've got a water heater there, cooker over there, and a cooker hood. So, and we've got obviously some down lights there. I'll count all those up in a minute. Now, we've got power cables going up that conduit. As you can see, it's exposed there. And that power goes all the way across to that socket. So, morning. So that socket there, so it's going in the kitchen. We've got a little storeroom here. And as you can see, put the light on. It does. So we've got a main conduits into there. Conduits into there, conduit down. Now behind down there, that's where that plug on the other side of this wall gets its power from. So, and that, I think, I don't know whether that goes into that. I don't know whether that goes over there. We'll check that in a minute. So we'll come down here. We've got a conduit line going across here, down there, and I think there's a socket there. It's powering this fridge, and obviously we've got a light socket in the wall. So that's what's happening in here. And if we go from there, it's coming out of there somewhere. And we've got that powering this cooker hood. This is the 400 volt line all the way along there. So I know that that's the 400 volts because it says 400 volts over there. And that's going into that is going into there. And then we've got, I think, the fire cabling is going along this bit. Yes, because we've got the red cable there for the fire, and then we've got this conduit coming down to the fire and all the alarms and stuff, so that's fine. So we know what's happening. We know what's happening there. And then obviously you've got the electrical cable coming to this light, and this light is getting its power from this bit, which is into there, which is all going back to the main board. So those conduits that we saw somewhere, yeah, so we've got a junction box there, which is between those two lights. I think we'll find it actually goes into between these two lights. It's probably that because it's a higher ceiling. That there. Oh God, is that there? I think. So that's all coming. Okay, that all makes some sense. Kind of. Now we've got, if you can just about see there above that box, we've got a cable coming down. That's powering those sockets, and then we've got a load of conduit going all over the place. So that's the spoilers being spurred off those sockets. We'll check tomorrow if they're rings or not. So we've got a few spurs. They're obviously controlling something. 2 fuse spurs in fact. LEDs are not working. So we'll need to check and see exactly what they're doing. But we'll do that in a minute. We'll check the sockets in a minute as well. So that goes on there. So we do have a socket down there. That's interesting. Not entirely sure where they're getting their power from. Right, okay, we need to ascertain how they're getting their power, because I don't know. That's intriguing. Somehow they're getting their power there. Don't know how, but they are. Yes, don't know how they're getting their power, but I'd imagine one of these is powering the cooker. That's what I'm assuming there. Obviously we know where that's coming from. Right, okay. Yeah, okay, understand. I think I understand all of that. We'll cover that in a minute. Right, power sockets. Power sockets. One there. Interesting, that is in the wall. That might be coming through from that cabinet, I think. Let's have a look. Probably down behind here. Down there. Yes, here's the conduit. So that's where that socket's getting that from. Oh no, storeroom. Storeroom. We've got a socket, double socket on the wall there. I need to check to see if that is actually working. We have a light switch and we have wall controls there. And oops, another socket there. That's coming from a conduit. And that's a piece of trunking. So that's got to be getting its power from somewhere in here. Intriguing. So we know there's a piece of conduit going to that trunking there, but where does that trunking go? Yeah, where does that trunking go? Okay, we need to discover that. Okay. Oh, and obviously the lights. She's getting the conduit that's going through the wall there. So that light's got to be getting its power from somewhere. And we've got some lights in the ceiling. Okay. Right. And the emergency light there. Oopsie daisy. Right, that is a fuse spur. That could be an electric radiator. Another fuse spur. Ah, we've got conduit running down there. Some conduit trunking. Right, so there's trunking running to those. All the way along then up to that double socket. We've got a fused spur there. And then the trunking disappears. And then trunking comes up here to that. When did he go off like that? He goes somewhere. Right. It has to go somewhere. Where does it go? It has to. Actually, it does go in the wall. But why would it go in the wall? Why would it do that? Unless. Hang on a second. Unless it's doing. Right, okay, it's coming down there. It's coming from that. She's heading back into the main. That's heading back into the mains cabinet. Right, okay, that makes sense. I think. Right. So that so that trunking board. So that trunking, yeah, okay, we've got a few issues there, I think. That trunking is coming all the way along there. We've got all the fire stuff there, we've got the alarm, and then that trunking is carrying a lot. Okay, so it's coming down there, that trunking, and I think probably, I'm not quite sure where that's going there. But anyway, it's going straight through the wall. And as you can see, we've got all that cabling going across there. We've got a box and a switch up there, and that there. That conduit then is going over there, and we've got conduit going into there, into the disabled loom. I'm hoping it's open, which it is. Okay, so we have conduit going through there, which we realise we've got cables going along there, conduit going down, down and down and down. So that's going to another electric heater. Obviously the light is being powered from something somewhere. Looks like there's a piece of conduit that's doing something very strange there. And then we've got more conduit going into that, trunking, conduit, I keep getting trunking. And along there, so like I say, everything, or the majority of things look like it's all in trunking. There's a few that aren't. So we can trace that. That then comes out of there. And we've got that's coming from the main hall, obviously to that light, which doesn't seem to be existing anymore. Now that is going through that wall. Or is it? Right, it seems to be. There's more, that conduit there is going on there. Unless of course, that's where that is going. I'm not sure if it is actually. Not quite sure where that's going. We'll need to check on where that's going. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lights. It looks like only one is working. Right, so we trace along here. We've got a conduit coming in. So this room. Oh, got a broken light switch by the looks of it. Right, so we've got conduit coming along there. I'm not sure what's happening there with that, or where that's going, but we need to check. And this is going nowhere, of course, which is possible. Okay. Bit odd. This is the gents' loom. We've got a light there. I can't actually see a darn thing there. So that's a bit. I don't know if there's a light to do that. That's chunky. Dear idea that one's doing. Right, so we've got conduit going to that light, and that's going around to there. That must be getting its power from next door. We've got a light, we've got a fuse spur there going to the wash, hand wash. And we've got a light here, which again is being powered by a conduit coming from next door somehow. I'm not going entirely sure how. Unless that, we need to work out how that's doing that. Right, that's really chunky. Okay, so one of these, yeah. Okay, let's go back to the main hall and see if we can work this out. That is there, goes along through all there. along there and along there, and then disappears. And we've got that one going along. That's getting power from there. That comes along and goes out. That one comes along. And it loops. And there's a junction box which might go through the wall. And then it goes back along. And goes back through the wall. Right. Okay. We'll see we're counting on the walls here. So that goes. Interesting. Right, so we've got a light switch. See, there's ow. So that there is going to there. But where? It has to come down that. Well, we need to look at that. Because we've got that. I don't know. Need to look at that. I've got a light in there, we do have a light there. We have again hand wash basins. Right. Okay. I need to work out how those circuits are doing. I'm not quite sure how that's working. And then we've got that one, and that ends there. It doesn't go any further. Right, so it does actually end there. That's not in a good state of repair either. I suppose this door's open, is it? No, that's the office bench going in a minute. Main storeroom, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lights all working. Now we do know that in this room it's not working. That light there isn't working. We know that. Right. Again, we've got that conduit. I think that conduit, there must be power inside that thing. And that goes along there. And we get it going in there as well. So it's all the way along there. All the way along there. And we've got that, which powers that light, obviously. And that conduit goes all the way along there. Now, plugs. We've got one there, and it's trunking to that, which is powering 1, 2 large fridges. Another, oops, there's another plug in here, and that must go through there. And I think this is the storeroom we were in just a minute ago. Yes, it is. Right. That trunking goes through, I think that trunking goes through the wall. I think it does. Yes, to that plug. I think that's how the power comes into here, but we'll check on that. Got a ring there. So we've got a junction box there, that's going up there. We've got all that going along there. There's more trunking going along. Got sockets. Yes, which is taking power from that trunking there, which we just need to check. Right, so that comes down to that one. I imagine that's going to come down, conduit coming down there to that switch. And then we've got that's to the fire alarm. Any more sockets? Yes, got a double socket there. And a fuse spare for the radiator there. Right. Okay. Right. So just quickly check the port bearing. So we have a single light and an emergency light. There are no sockets, there's no outdoor sockets by the way either. Light switch. Nothing to worry about out here. So there's no sockets in the hallway, no sockets in the toilets. There should be, or there are sockets in the hallway. I do stand corrected. Let's just check. Okay. Do have a double socket in there. Thing. Dodgy lights. I'll do that in a minute. I did see a double socket, didn't I? Yeah. So there's double sockets just hidden down here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The other one's got a plug in, so it should be fine. Radiator there, not worried about that. Oh, okay. So that's a double socket. Can't remember what double socket I've added.
You've got chicken tenders as well down here. One of them. Quite a few. Are those the packs? The chicken tenders and big packs, yeah. Yeah, we'll put macaroni and cheese in here.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Plug sockets there. There aren't that many plug sockets. I need to get in the office. So I'll just show you the power room. So we've obviously got a massive boiler here, which is obviously just powered by a 3 amp fuse spur there, load of light switches, and if we go over here you can see the massive 400 volt conduits. It's more than 400 volts, but it'll be obviously the 3-phase power going out along these lines, and the conduit and the trunking going out. You know the trunking's going that way, we know the trunking's going that way. There's the 3-phase power board. Probably look on that, it's due an inspection anyway. Not sure what that used to be, looks like that could have been an old alarm system. But here's the 3-phase, all the 3-phase cabling. There is an earth cable, because I've just found it. There is an earth cable there. You might be able to just see it there, running along there. So there is an earthing. I need to double check the earthing for the water supply, but the gas is, because I've checked it. I just need to make sure that the water supply is, or if it needed doing. You can see that's very old incoming supply bit there. I cannot work out what the amperage is on the fuses. I've looked and I can't work it out, but I'll have another look. See, there's earth cabling onto the trunking there. Got some metal trunking as well. So yeah, it's an old, very old installation. It goes back to the 1950s, I believe, when this building was first built. But obviously that is much newer than that. The date of inspection was back in 19. So you could argue that this was probably done back in 19. I would guess I don't know what colour wiring I'm going to see. New or old, I'm not entirely sure, or a mixture. Not really sure. You see the outside lights being controlled by switches, key switches. So that's what we've got in here, that's what we've got to work with, and this is what I'm going to have to work on tomorrow. I'm going to turn the entire power off to that board. I am not going to muck about with isolating individual circuits. The whole lot's going to go off, and I'll do it in one go. But what I'll do first is I'll isolate every circuit without me doing any wiring checks, because I want to check what goes off and what doesn't, because I'm not going to trust the labelling in that board is actually right. I've learnt my lesson on that. So I'm going to individually do every circuit first, work out exactly what's what, and then the whole power will go off, and then I'll do my checks. Yeah. So we've had a few faults on the visual inspection. Broken light switch, broken double socket, some lights aren't working. So far, a visual inspection of the cabling. There's a couple of things which, you know, there's some exposed twin and earth cabling, but it's not to a great extent. I think it would be unfair to. I might note it in my notes that it is. But it's on the ceiling, it's out of reach, no one's going to be able to touch it. It doesn't look broken at the moment, but I will get up on the ladder and have a look tomorrow when I do the full testing, and just make sure there's no breaks in the cable, no worn sleeving, no exposed conductors. So I will check that, and obviously if there is, then that'll have to go in the report, that the cabling will have to be dealt with. But you know, it's actually, for a 1950s building, it actually isn't in a bad state of repair, really, apart from the things I've noted. Lots of lights to be replaced. And whether we generally do need a 3-phase supply is the next thing. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a cursory glance at the cooker and the water heater, see if I can work out the wattage on them. I could do that today, and then I think that's as far as we can go today anyway. Right, so this socket isn't playing ball, that one. Just try the other one. Not sure about the other one actually as well. They're both a bit iffy, those. Right. Okay, so this is doing the hob, this is doing the cooker. Obviously we've got a plug on it, so the diversity calculations will be slightly different for that, which we'll need to do. Taking a photograph of the model number for the cooker. Not entirely sure what the model number for the hob is. I'll have to make some inquiries about that. We do have a dishwasher, so one of those two switches must be doing the dishwasher. Do we have... I don't think we have a fridge, so I'm not quite sure what the other switch does, so we need to work that out. Yep, we don't know what that switch does, unless it's that is doing... I don't think it's doing the boiler, because I think that's doing the boiler. So one of those two controls the dishwasher, one of these two, that one or that one. Right, and this is the broken double socket. Right, okay. Yeah, doesn't appear to be a fridge in here. Well, not that I can see anyway. No. Okay. Right, these, by the way, I think are dealt with independently. I think there's a trunking down there that's doing that. Okay. So we're here today to start working out what is going on. So, working out what we've got on the board to make sure these are okay. So, what we've got is, I've already identified the fact that the two here are, there used to be two cookers, but there aren't. So one is controlling the cooker, one's controlling the hob. So we know what they are, so I can do diversity calculations on them. This top one is interesting. As you can see, it's marked sockets, kitchen and office. But if I actually follow, because I've just gone and checked it, so if you follow me, these sockets, there and there on this side of the main area are on, so all these electric heaters. All the kitchen's gone off, including the boiler, so I was right, that boiler is spurred off this particular circuit. That's going to help with the diversity calculations as well. All the sockets in the kitchen have gone off. The socket in here has gone off, so it's two sockets and the water heater. Socket there has also gone off, and the sockets in here, of which there were 2, they've also gone off. And also in the back room here, the sockets on this wall have gone off. So there's one there and one behind the 2 fridges. They've also gone off. That door goes to the other room that I've just been in. But the sockets on the far wall, they are still live. So they're not affected by that particular circuit breaker. So the total number of sockets is 2 here, 2 in that room, that's 4, 5 in that room, and 6. So there's 6 sockets on that top circuit that are actually running. So I'll keep an eye on that. So that's what that does. So when you're doing inspections, don't always go with what's written on the board, because sometimes it isn't right. It could be out of date. So we know what sockets those ones are, so we can switch those back on. So that's fine. But by the way, on this 3-phase, so we're on phase 1 up here, so we're now going on to phase 2. These are all RCBOs. I will check the regulations on hobs and cookers in a public building as to whether these should be RTD protected, because as you can see, the only ones that are RTD protected are these ones. Everything else is all MCB, but I will check on that. So we're going to go down to the next one. I'll switch this one off, and then we'll come back and see what that's actually isolated. Right, so the RTD figures for the kitchen circuit are 29.6, 19.6, 30 and 19.6. That's a pass for that top set. So I can right, just done that. So just for curiosity why I'm doing this, I've got everything switched off. I'm doing this as a reading. So the ZE would be 0.42 with a 586.4 on this particular phase. Keep those for reference for later. This is the cooker side. So on the cooker we're getting a 0.29 and we're getting 845.8. And on the hob side, we're getting 0.28 and 874.7. Okay, keep those for right. So the bottom one, this one, water heater, is actually this massive great thing over here. Although the light switch is for all the lights in the main hall, by the way. So that's what that is. Right, so we know what that is now. So we're going to the next one. Now, identifying the incoming line to be TNCS or TNS. Right, and I'm just going to see that earth cable is connected to that strap. That strap, I don't really can see this, it's very difficult to see down there. That strap is coming off the edge of this incoming cable. So I am going to make a reasoned guess that that is a TNS system coming into that. Now there is no, I've looked all over this thing. I cannot see or identify any fuse carriers because they're probably all in there, which I can't get to, and there's no identifying marks to say what it is. So, to be honest, I don't know. Now, obviously, as you can see on here, this is a 125 amp board. It doesn't necessarily mean there's 125 amp or 100 amp or whatever they are in there. So I'm going to put that down as a limitation because I don't know. The only way of finding out will be to ask the DNO as to what it is. So it's a TNS, I'm going to say it's a TNS system coming in. That big wire, there is an earth that goes up to the board somewhere. Somehow it goes up to the board. So a lot of these metal things are all earth as well, so which is good. And that's the earth that goes off to the gas. So my guess is that comes up into that metal trunking, goes into there and goes into there. So that big whopping great earth cable goes in there somewhere. So I'll have that cover off later. Have a look. Right, so I can confirm that's exactly what that one does. It does do the first row of lights in the hall. This was slightly wrong. It does the next 2, 3 and 4 rows and the hallway. These might do the hallway, but as we know, only one of the lights is working in the hallway, so we can't confirm that. This one, no idea. Doesn't seem to turn off any lights at all at the moment, so I'm a bit confused as to what that one does. So we're going to move down to the other lights and see what we get there. To confirm, when I do the kitchen light switch, it does actually switch these ones off as well. So these lights have gone, the one in the room next to it is gone, and the kitchen lights and the down lights have also gone off on that particular switch. Right, so I'll show the MCB that I've just switched off. That seems to have shut power down to in here, power to that socket and the electric heater. So all the sockets on that back wall have gone down. So I'll just show you which circuit breaker that is. So far, some of the labelling is a bit confusing, but it's not wholly inaccurate. So that's one I've just switched off. So that's all fine. So I'll switch that back on again. So we've done those two now. Then we're going to do this one. Now this one is a bit, I don't know what they say is the meeting room, so I might have to ask the client about that. And I'm not quite sure what it means about the female toilet, but I'm imagining there's a meeting room somewhere. I can't get in the office because I haven't got the key, so that I'm going to have to come back and do that, which is not the office. The office is here, the office rear. I can't get in there, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah. So I'll do the I can do the RCD check now. I know what I'm doing on that, so I can do. Actually, no, I won't. I won't do the RCD check because they've got a lot of expensive equipment in that office, which I would need to turn off before I can do that. So I can't do that. I don't want to risk damaging anything when I'm doing those tests, so that'll have to wait, that one. So let's have a look at that one, see what that does. The hand dryers not being isolated, I've just realised they're here. They're on this switch here, so they're on their own thing. Now where that's going inside, I don't know. We actually haven't got the cover off. So basically, yeah, this is effectively correct. I know these are a bit odd, but they do what they say they're doing, and there is 2 circuits to the back wall. There is this one controls the socket and the heater nearest to where I'm standing, just behind me, and then this one does the other one. So this one must have been, these must have been added when the disabled toilet was done, and obviously the powering things in the male WC as well. So that was put in then, and that was put in. So the only thing that was wrong was the hobbies there instead of cooker 1. Then we've got the cooker. These are doing rows 2, 3 and 4. This one, I have no idea what that one does. Unfortunately, what I've not been able to discover is the light switches for the back storeroom. I can't find them anywhere. So I am going to have to come back, do the checks on this, checks on this. My guess is that the actual main alarm hasn't gone off, so I'd imagine they're connected with that, the fire alarm. So I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not going to do anything with that. So yeah, and this needs checking as well. I could power it all down and have a look inside. I've got time to do that, but that will set the alarm panel off. So I'm going to check this one first, which is only this heater and this double socket. Let's see what we get. It's a bit hard to say, I can't really see that. About 877.2. So the readings we're getting are pretty consistent around all the different circuits, which is a good sign actually. So we'll do the RCBO check now on this one. See what we get. So we're expecting that one to flick. Okay. See, these are type A's, RCBOs as well. I think that's it. Nope, no. I think that's it now. Yeah, so let's go and check out the readings. A bit tricky with the sun where it is. Let's check the readings on that. 2000, 29.2, 39.2, 29.2, 19.2. So I'm happy with those readings. So we're checking that double socket, that, and that. Oh, set it for down to trip. Could have set it to a high, I suppose. Could have set it to high, I suppose. But this is only, I will do the proper readings actually in the box itself. These are just for me to get me an idea of what sort of things, 1125, so what sort of things I should be getting really. So let's check the RCD operation. Okay, let's go back to the board. Because what we don't know is whether these circuits are rings or radials, so we need to work that out as well. So far we're doing well. I'm not seeing any major problems. Not really. And to be honest with you, I shouldn't do, really. Major problems are going to be lights and faulty socket fronts. I don't think there's anything else to really worry about. I can do obviously the I can do the load maximum demand. Now I know what's where. Try and work out the wattage on these heaters. I can. So we've got 29.2, 39.2, 29.2 and 19.2. Excellent. So we're going to do the back wall readings now. These back wall ones. We've got those readings for reference. Let's do the RCD test. Now I've switched off the fridges and freezers. There's fridges and freezers in that room, so I've switched them off. So let's hopefully we should get pass readings now. Yeah, I'll just go and fiddle with the RCBO, sorry, and then come back and we'll see what. Then what I'm actually just doing, I'm doing this one with the one I said I wouldn't do, but oh well, I've done it now. Right, let's go and see what those readings are. Righto, so here we go. So 2000, 2000, 28.8, 19.2, 28.8, 19.2. That's absolutely fine and dandy. Right, so I've done a bit of research on these. These are actually 5-foot batten lights. Obviously, as you can see, there's 2 in each. Now, what I need to know is whether I can retrofit these with modern LED lights. That one of those over there is a 58 watt, 150 centimetre light in there. So I know these are 5-foot lights. But it's whether I can retrofit them with LED ones or whether the whole light fittings are going to have to be replaced. To replace the bulbs themselves is a £5 each, but replacing the fittings will be a lot more than that. So we'll just have to, I'll do a bit of research when I get back and find out if I can actually retrofit these lights. And I've got a nasty feeling I won't be able to, but we'll check and find out. Because these won't be, well, they're obviously not, that's not, that one there, those ones there I already checked. They're not LEDs, they're standard neon lights, whatever they are, sorry, fluorescent lights. So yeah, I don't know whether they can be retrofitted fitted with just LEDs. I'll need to find out, because obviously the LEDs don't need the drivers in the starters. I can't remember what they're called now, that are in there. I need to find out. So the 5-foot ones, my guess is probably these ones are the same. They look a little bit more modern, these ones. A lot of the lights actually off, but and there's obviously another 2 in those rooms which don't work. So yeah, okay. Right then, so today we're doing 3-phase power. For a domestic electrician, 3-phase power is probably very scary and probably something you don't come across very often. I'm quite lucky because I come across this, a couple of times. And obviously I was trained to do my inspections on these contraptions. Obviously, for those that don't know, 3 phase is exactly what it means. We're taking all 3 phases from the incoming straight into this board. So there's a total of 400 volts running through here, which is then split into 250 volts running all around the building. I will not go into the technicalities on that right now. But as you can probably see on the board here, you can see they're all split into the 3 phases, L1 to L3, and there are 6 ways. Yes, there are 6 ways here. Yes, I know there's 18 circuit breakers, but there are 6 ways here because you've got 3 phases. 6 ways, 3 phases, 18 circuit breakers. Okay. When you're doing your inspections, it's exactly the same as you would do for a domestic. No different there. You do continuity and all the other check texts exactly as you were. You're still dealing with 250 volts at the sockets and at the lights. No difference there. The difference is in here, in this bit. This is where, when you're doing your PFC and your ZE calculations, that's where this is different, and that's where this video is all about. What the differences are to get those readings from a 3-phase system as opposed to a single phase, because there is a difference in doing it. So we'll get this cover off in a little while and we'll show you exactly what we've done, but the rest of it will be all part of the inspection video, which I'll put a link to up here for this community centre. Now, one of the other things that's going to be part of this inspection is I'm going to be doing maximum demand on this, because when I did the inspection on this, I actually discovered it may not need 3-phase after all. It might better convert this back to just a domestic single phase, depending on what the DNO has to say about it. I've just been going through all of this, and there's just no need, I don't think, for this to be a 3-phase supply anymore. Might have been in the past. This is a very old building, so there might have been good reasons for it. But for right now, no, I don't see it. Now, I believe this is a Crabtree Lodestar unit. I believe there's a conversion kit you can buy that will convert this from 3-phase to single phase without having to remove this entire box, which would be great. Literally what it does, in layman's terms, is it fits around here somewhere. I believe it sits around here somewhere, and effectively it joins all 3 phases together to make it single phase. That's all that kit does, really. There's a couple of other little other bits that need to be done, but effectively that's what it does. What the DNO does down here, which is where the incoming supply is, I don't know. That's not for me to work out. Anyway, I am waffling as per normal, so let's get this cover off and let's show you what you have to do for your ZE PFC. I will also show you the differences where safe isolation is concerned, because that's different as well to domestic suppliers. Just in case you've not seen it and how it's done, I'll do that as well. Right, in actual fact, the office is that one. not that one, or that one, it's actually that one. Well, I'm hoping that will stay. So this is how you do, you're doing your PFC and your ZEs on this, okay? You're doing it 3 times, you take the highest reading, okay? So I've got my crocodile clip on the earth. Yes, I know I'm doing potentially parallel paths as well, I know. I could take off the earth cable and do it that way. I'm going to do it this way, but if you want to do it without risking parallel paths, you take out the main earth. Okay, so we're going to put this probe on the neutral and do the first one. I've set my tester to automatic. I'm doing the 3D. I'm doing a 3 lead test here. So we've done the earth first, neutral next, and then we're going to do L1. See what we get. Okay, 0.14 for the ZE reading. Okay, take off your L1 probe, neutral probe, and I'm getting a 1779 amp reading on L1. Now I'm going to do L2. Same procedure. 0.13 for the ZE. Set the probes off. And we're getting 1940 amps on L2. So now we're going to do L3. Off the line, off the neutral. Getting 0.14 for the ZE and 1730 amps for the PFC. Now, just going to double check something. Hands free again. Just going to double check something. Okay. Right, so those tests are done where that's concerned. And now I'm going to do, I'll explain what the next test is in a second. Right, so we're now going to do a 2 lead test just between neutral and L1, L2, L3. So on the probes, as you can see, I'm using the connector on the green on there. So that makes a neutral probe with a brown probe. We're connected through the earth. And we're going to do this test, which is between the neutral and the line. And then I'll tell you the readings of what you've got to do to them. So I'm on hands free. And onto the neutral first, as always. And then L1. We're getting 0.1 of an over ZE. Just wait for it. Take off the live, take off the neutral, and we're getting 2498 amps on L1. So now we do the same for L2. Get 0.1 of a 0.1 ohms and a Z of the ZE. PFC come through. Okay, take off the live, take off the neutral. 2492 amps, and finally we'll do L3. .11 for the ZE. Okay, off the live, off the neutral, and 2304. So we'll take the highest reading of that, and then we're going to double it. I'll explain why we double that for the paperwork later on in the video. But that is all the ZE tests. Now, looking at the board, it looks reasonably neat and tidy. Now we do have rings on the, looks like we do have rings in fact on those socket circuits. So that looks reasonably good. It looks reasonably neat, to be honest. I don't see any problems with that whatsoever. Yeah, reasonably neat and tidy. Okay, cool. Yeah, doesn't look too bad at all actually.